Gwen, sweetheart, if this is what the truth sounds like, then please go back to lying to us. Hey everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of album number 3 by Gwen Stefani. Solo album number 3, I should say. She's best known as the frontwoman of No Doubt, a reggae, pop, rock, alternative outfit that were very popular during the 1990s, especially in the early 2000s. Saw a comeback with 2012's Settled Down, an album that was not exactly sparking any fires. Gwen Stefani came back with a couple of misfires with Baby Don't Lie, and of course the track that I just alluded to, Spark the Fire, which was my worst song of 2014. Holy shit, that song was awful. It was like Pharrell and Gwen Stefani trying to make a Holla Back Girl Part 2, except it's just fucking terrible on every level. It was just pathetic. The songs didn't, thank God, perform well, and so she scrapped those tracks, which was a nice move, and comes back with This Is What the Truth Feels Like, announcing that album, seeming a little bit more focused with the lead single that comes from this thing, Used to Love You, which is a perfectly timed track considering how publicized her recent love affairs have been. Here's the thing, Used to Love You is actually a pretty good song. I really like the chorus on it, minus the oh, oh, ohs that go in the background. That's just really unnecessary and unappealing. This track is actually pretty well done as a whole. It gets the job done, it's catchy enough, it's kind of like a ballad-styled track, but it's powerful at the same time, and it's what her fans want from her. They want to know what's going on in her personal life, and she's venting it in her music. So Used to Love You, probably the best song on this thing. That's the sad part. That's the pinnacle. If a mediocre at best track is the pinnacle of your record, it's just all downward slopes on each side. When this album isn't being completely forgettable, it's being utterly distasteful. There's tracks on here that really make me question Stefani and her producers. Like, did we really go for that? Despite bringing in some of these big writers that have penned hits like Hands to Myself and that Justin Bieber track, Sorry, it just doesn't seem to be helping because those tracks definitely had a certain catchiness about them, but there doesn't seem to be just a big smash single here that's gonna break out. And I am also kind of thankful for that at the same time, because if I heard these tracks on the radio, I'd probably want to drive off a cliff. Let's start with the downright forgettable, because I don't want to just get too pissed off and then just be like, you know what, pull the plug, I'm gonna end the review here. No, let's actually get out some focused thoughts, unlike Gwen Stefani on this record. Truth sees Stefani taking on this kind of like laid back and almost muted vocal approach, and then some weird echoey vocals and a little guitar pattern going over it, and it just sounds like it's building up to something like, okay, she's gonna start confessing some stuff, and believe it or not, she does. She's saying, oh, the tabloids are all saying that Blake Shelton, my new relationship, it's just a rebound. Well, if this is a rebound, then rebound all over me. It's a cringeworthy line, and there's so many of them in this track. It's just so flatlined and monotonous, the whole tune. I can't help but say, you know what? There's worse songs here. Save the energy for that. Me Without You, I suppose, is one of the better tracks on this thing, even though the vocals are a little bit too breathy and the rolling trap beats in the background of the chorus do get a little bit unflattering. I have to say that it still has a certain catch to it. And Rare, the closing track, even though a little bit less memorable than what I've seen from Stefani's solo stuff in the past, it's not a bad way to close out this record. It's a better taste in my mouth than something like Naughty, Asking for It, or Send Me a Fucking Picture. I've opened the floodgates now, so let's just start tearing through it. Send Me a Picture sounds like it's pandering to teenagers who like texting nudes to each other. She sounds like she's laying in bed, pretending she's 20 years old, texting her boyfriend in college. No, you guys are in your 40s, you're in an adult relationship, and you sound absolutely sad and desperate here. It sounds like you're desperate for relevance. It's like the Weezer marketing campaign that's going on right now with their new White album. It's just absurd that you're trying to blend into this demographic that you're clearly not a part of. And then on the track Naughty, which just sees Stefani taking on this almost like sing rap thing. I know she's done it in the past and kind of pulled it off. Here, it just sounds so weak. This song builds and you think that it's cringy enough whenever the verses are rolling, but then the chorus hits and you just have to sit there and shake your head in shame because you'll wonder where it all went wrong. I'm never a fan whenever it seems like artists are trying to blatantly rip off another artist's style, something that may have gotten popular but never necessarily hit the mainstream, and I feel like the track You're My Favorite definitely does that to an artist by the name of Melanie Martinez. Even on the Target Deluxe edition of this record, it seems like the visuals with the whole teardrops and everything coming down and just kind of the style, the art, seems like a lot like Crybaby that came out last year by Melanie, and the track in general sounds like it was an instrumental B-side from her debut album. It sounds like it's got those playful, drippy synths and keys and some airy production, and then the track as a whole lyrically even kind of follows in a similar suit, and I have to say that I don't like that at all. The album really falls flat on its face whenever Gwen starts trying to be a little bit more playful and taunt and tantalize her new love interest on tracks like Where Would I Be. She tries to get a little bit more soulful with her vocal approach, and I won't deny that it sounds okay, but the lyrical content that goes along with it just drags it down so much, and once again, it's like the weird verse-chorus combination. Things just don't fit together. It's like jarring puzzle pieces and you get frustrated so you walk away because they just don't fit. Asking for it with Fetty Wap is like, oh yeah, I can't believe you're doing all these things, boy. You're making me fall for you. I'm coming for you. You know how much I like you. You did it to yourself. And I have to wonder, like, as Blake Shelton or any guy ever, like, whatever you're like showered in love like that, it just makes you want to like pull back and run in the other direction. I don't exactly know how, much that's wanted in a relationship. Hey, but keep smothering away. It really seems to be working for you, Gwen. And then Fetty Wap on this track comes in and delivers a verse that I read along with the lyrics, but just listening to it in general, you really don't hear it. I know people say that about Fetty, but seriously, I'm struggling this time. Somebody help me, because there has to be some sort of like clean or easy to decipher edition. Maybe that's on the Target Deluxe edition. I did catch Fetty saying 1738 and Remy Boys, so it looks like after an amazing feature on the Knox album, he's back to his stereotypical bullshit. I know people are probably wondering what I think of the single Make Me Like You, so before I destroy the final song that I have so many problems and so much rage towards, let's discuss that one for a moment, because at first I did think it was pandering teeny bop bullshit, but it has become one of my favorite songs on this thing, I suppose. If that's a good thing, it's not necessarily a track that I could see myself coming back to down the road, but if I hear it in the car, if I hear it at the mall, I'm not gonna scream out and say, turn the radio off or grab my earplugs. Make Me Like You was kind of built around a little guitar riff, kind of a disco dip song, if you will. And it's kind of playful. She gets it right here. I guess the flirting and chemistry just feels like it's on a different level than some of these other songs. And maybe it's just the fact that it's surrounded by so much other crap, it's making it look better as a result. But as a standalone single, I wasn't really feeling it at first. But Make Me Like You, it's inoffensive enough, I suppose. But then we get to the one that I can't make any apologies for. There's no way to defend this track. It's called Red Flag, and it starts off with one of the worst voice rap song things that I've heard all year.
Whoa! Check it out! Look at you!
Oh my god! This is atrocious! How could anyone see this as passable? The record label exec was just like, you know what, yeah, let's throw that one on the album. Scrap, Spark the Fire, and Baby Don't Lie. Those were moderate hits in the US, but whatever. We need this one on the track because this is just gonna blow up the charts. Red Flag sounds like a desperate Iggy Azalea wannabe rapping over these dripping synthesizers that just don't do anything for the track whatsoever, and I'm just gonna have to excuse myself from the room before I break something because I hate Red Flag. They say the truth is hard to swallow, so this is a pill that's definitely not gonna go down for me. Off of the tongue, into the trash. That's how I feel about the new Gwen Stefani record. This is what the truth feels like. 1. If you've heard it, let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. Keep in mind this was all just my opinion, so if you liked it, that's fine. It's not that what I'm saying is universal truth. I feel like some people think that that's what I'm trying to say sometimes, but it's just like, nah bro, It's just my opinion, dog. Alright? You feel? Ja feel? Ja definitely feel. Thanks for watching, hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. If you want to check out a pop album that'll do you a lot more favors, then you can click the link that's floating directly below me or the link to my last review that I did. Those are both in those little boxes there, or you can find all the links in the description down below. Tweet me at ARTV Reviews, and other than that, I will see you guys very soon right here on ARTV.